and she will accept the Messiah as her own savior. This is nothing but a pagan religion. There was 26 Kaaba in the Arabian Peninsula, at least, and it was nothing but a bazaar and a market. You do not need to be genius to decide if this is a choice by Allah, if He is God or not. I mean, if He is God, there is no way He will choose such a location where the flood will come over every year, and you know. You see, in Saudi Arabia, there is not much rain, but still, He chose the wrong location. You know what I mean? I mean, there is not too much rain, but isn't it Allah? He knew what happened every year, that when little rain come, this area will be flooded. Don't Allah knew that this is the lowest spot? He should not choose it. He could not find a better place. There is no way a true God will make such a wrong decision, and He will, you know, accept this place to be a place of worship and consider it as the house of God. And then the Muslim, they start fabricating stories, says even birds cannot fly in the top of the Kaaba. You know, the other day I showed you the video where the birds are flying. An airplane cannot fly over the Kaaba. And look at the difference between the Kaaba today and the Kaaba yesterday. You see what oil can do? You see what the oil can do? Today they try to make it like lighting and marble, and what is this is all about? And the funny, they say to us that we Muslims, we are consistent with our religion. We don't change, that we keep it as it is. Everything you change, even the house of the devil, they replace it with the concrete one. Everything they have is false. Look at this. God, He need a room, and this room is His house. I advise Allah to buy a flooding insurance. We can call Geico for you, or some American companies. You can buy insurance for flood. So, you know, like if your furniture destroyed and your idols are broken or something, they float over the water, well, they will pay you. Look at the disgusting water. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, what is that? This is the house of God, who God, He chose it to be His place, His location. And obviously, Allah, He made the best choice. So, you know, obviously, this cannot be the house of God, and you do not need to be genius. There is no way God will choose a wrong location, will be flooded every. And look at this one. Look. This is around the Kaaba. Look, flood all over. Not only inside the Kaaba, even the town around. Because if you notice here, how the mountain is so close to the Kaaba, and that make the water go down. This is the bottom of the mountain. There is a mountain, it's called Qubais, next to the Kaaba. And this is what the Muslim believe, that during the flood of Noah, you see Adam, he built the Kaaba, right? So then the flood of Noah came and destroyed the Kaaba, but Allah, He hide the black stone inside the belly of the mountain, which is the mountain you see in the left of the picture. So when the flood stopped, Allah, He made the mountain belly spit it like Muhammad hijab, you know, the mountain spit it. And then Abraham, Allah sent him to build the Kaaba again, but in the same location. What a stupid story. Who in the world can believe in such a madness and garbage? You want to take a swim? Look at this. Look at this disgusting. And by the way, Mecca is the worst, ugliest city in the world, especially during the Hajj. dirt and garbage. Go watch videos. Go watch videos made by the one who did Hajj this year, not 10 years ago. Dirty, ugly, disgusting, crimes, molestation. Anyone is like, one of the funny things about Muslims, they say to you, we separate between women and men, but around the Kaaba they go mixed, and the man is not wearing underwear, and the woman, she is not wearing underwear, and you can imagine what will happen. Look at this. This is inside the Kaaba building. Do you see it? This is inside the Kaaba building. This is not outside. Which means inside the mosque. Do you see it? The mosque of the Kaaba. Look at this. Why God want to choose the location here? I mean, come on, move it like 500 meters away, where the ground is higher. I challenge any Muslim to tell me why Allah he choose such a stupid location for his Kaaba to be built on. That's impossible. This is cannot be from God. And then the Muslims, they need to clothe the Kaaba. What is this about clothing the Kaaba? Since when a house need to wear burqa? Any Muslim can explain to us why the Kaaba need to wear clothes? What is that? As you see here, the Muslims are clothing the Kaaba. Please, Kaaba, please don't forget to put your coat on, because you might get cold or some men will see you. Everything about this ritual is a pagan ritual. They spend a lot of money, and look now the Kaaba, look how the concrete, they build it from concrete, they fix it, they maintain it, money. But not long time ago it was like this. Look at this. This is 1941. This is 1941. Not long time ago. Look at the Kaaba. Look at the water. Look at the mud. That's the most crazy religion. I'm not going to stay here long. Please feel free to share the video and let everybody see how stupid this cult is. This is absolutely is a pagan. And then don't forget that the Muslim, they have to kiss the black stone, and Muhammad says whoever kissed the black stone, or he touched the black stone in the Yemeni corner, which means the corner have the stones of Yemen from the moon temple. Allah, or sorry, if you touch them, your sin will be forgiven. Muhammad, he claimed that by touching stones in the Kaaba, your sin is forgiven. Who in the world want to believe in such a madness? Look at the sewage. Look at the sewage. This is the Kaaba of Islam. And now after the money, look what happened. Guys, look at this. They are building. Look what happened. Where it was and where it is now. Big Ben. Big Ben is in Mecca now. And they have the crescent moon in the top of it. Do you see it? They have the crescent moon in the top of it. This is 6 stars hotel. What the Kaaba was and what it became today. The oil of the money, or the money of the oil, because it's the same. Look at this. Muhammad, if you see this, you will not believe it. And by the way, there's some Photoshop here, like the colors, etc. Look at the Photoshop. Look what they do. They. So from this, we go back a little bit, and we see this. Look at the madness. How the Kaaba was, how the Kaaba is today. This is the real Kaaba. This is 1937. I wonder how it was in the year 600. If this is in 1937, and this is telling you that the Muslims, they ignore the Kaaba for long, because why the Muslim, the Ottoman Sultan, he have a very fancy palace, but the house of Allah is in a dirt. You know what I mean? Look at this. This is the Kaaba. This is not long time ago. I advise Allah to say thank you, Western, for provide us with this, with the science of engineering, so we can stop the flood of the Kaaba. And by the way, still until now the flood is not stopping, it's not totally secure. It depends how much rain they will have. There's a video you can search, right now, search for the flood of Mecca, and you will see. By the way, until now Mecca, they don't even have a sewage. This is why when the flood come, all the poo in the ground come out, because every house dig like a small let us say basement, a hole in the garden, where all the poo of the building go there, and then a big tank come and the vacuum machine suck it. But the old days it was without vacuum, it stay there. So when the flood come, everything in the poo holes come out and goes to the Kaaba, and everybody at the end of the day, including the sewage, have to glorify Allah. I'm glad that the sister, she agree that there's no way that this house can be the house of God, for a very simple reason. God, if he is the one who choose a location, he will not choose such a stupid location. At least he would choose a place where there's no flood. You cannot tell me that God, he choose a place where the flood will cover it every. And by the way, before, like when the flood covered the Kaaba usually collapsed, doesn't stay long, because remember, the concrete is something new. The Kaaba, yes, was from rocks, but between the rocks there's mud, and when water come, that will make it easy and collapse. You know, it's going to like became like a pesquit. So why Allah he chose the wrong location? If there is any Muslim have an answer, please feel free, leave a comment under the video and show me your intelligence, and tell me what's wrong with your God to choose such a location where it is flooded every year. Thank you very much for watching, and let us keep the video short. We just, as I said, I just did this video just to prove to this sister and her family that Islam cannot be from God. The house, the location of the house of Islam, proven it easy. God will not choose such a location. And remember, this is not a place chosen by men to say it's a mistake of man. The Muslim claim that the first one who put the stone there, it was Allah, and the angels, they instructed the Kaaba, and after that men like Adam and then Abraham, etc. So they cannot say this is not the mistake of Allah. They cannot say this is not the mistake of his angels. They cannot say that this is have nothing to do with God, because according to them, this is the house of God. Allah, he chose a location. This is a holy place, and this is why it is holy place, because Allah, he put it there, the black stone. It was not a human error. It was God of Islam error, and that is telling us the whole story. Thank you very much for being here. I hope many Muslims will see the truth, and the truth will set you free. And be aware, if you have a phone number of Allah, to call him and give him some American insurance companies, so they might be protecting him from the flood, and that will be a better solution for all the Muslims. You either want to go to the Kaaba and you buy iPhone, and then you find yourself in the middle of the dirt and the flood is covering you without insurance. Buy insurance before you go to the Kaaba. Additional to that, people who go to the Kaaba, mostly many of them, just a few years ago, thousands of Muslims die because they step at each other, and this is another problem. We will talk about it in different video, because if Allah is aware that the population of Muslims will be so big to the point the location of the Kaaba will not be able to handle them, that he should not ask them all to come. If you study, if you search and study the numbers, if you live 100 years, you will not be able to go to the Kaaba to do Hajj, because there is no way this Kaaba can handle all the population of Muslims. So what is the point of saying you need to do Hajj if you can? If you can. But if you can, this is about if you don't have money or if you have money. But what about the people who have money? The Saudi, even they cannot give visas to everybody because Mecca cannot handle the population. It's a small town, small mosque. It doesn't matter how many floors they do and add to it, still it cannot handle it. Thank you very much for watching, and may the Lord help us to expose the truth and the lies. Both need to be published. And we use the word expose, the fact it's good to expose even the truth, because sometimes what people think it is a lie, it might turn to be a truth. And what they think it's a truth, it might turn to be a lie. And obviously, this is a very clear lie. Thank you, and God bless. Take care.